We're trying to send signals back in time. And if that works, perhaps one day we can send humans back in time. An exciting idea, but it opens the door to the problem of paradox. A paradox is a situation that contradicts itself. Doesn't make any sense. Say you send a cure for cancer from the future to the past. Would the dead now be alive? See? Time travel is filled with such mysteries.
The things we would like to understand about time travel are, one, is it possible, even in principle, do the laws of physics permit backward time travel? We don't know the answer. We need the laws of quantum gravity in order to find out the answer. Second question is, if backward time travel is possible, then what does nature do about the so-called grandfather paradox? That I can go backward in time, then, if it's possible, and kill my grandfather before my father was conceived, thereby changing history so that I no longer exist. What does nature do about that?
The conservative interpretation is that space-time is one four-dimensional thing. It doesn't change. So if time travelers go to the past, they were always part of the past, and they don't change it. In other words, if you had time travelers aboard the Titanic, they might have warned the captain about the iceberg, but he didn't pay any attention to them, like he didn't pay any attention to the other iceberg warnings, because we know the ship ended up hitting an iceberg. So that's the conservative view, that time travelers don't alter the past. They can participate in the past. In fact, one wag once said that the real thing that sank the Titanic was the extra weight of all the stowaway time travelers on board to see it sink.
In fact, there is a simple reason we aren't surrounded by time-traveling tourists from the future. It's because no one has built a working time machine. Even if we someday have the technology to travel back in time, the machine will only work starting at the point we invented, creating the first loop in time.
When you create a time machine by moving cosmic strings up in the year 3000, you create a time loop up in the year 3000 by twisting space and time. So when the time traveler goes, he goes always toward the future, like this car. So he goes around the loop, and that means that he can go from the year 3002 back to the year 3001, but he can't but come back here to 2010 because that's before the time machine was built.
But there may be an exception to these rules. And, once again, it grows out of the weird world of quantum mechanics. Many quantum physicists believe there is an incalculable number of parallel universes, and these parallel universes are all around us.
Every time you make a decision that could have gone one way or the other, or you flip a coin, for example, it could have gone the other way, and then the universe would branch off into two separate branches in the many worlds theory of quantum mechanics.
If you allow for alternate universes, then lots of things can happen. It's still true that you have to avoid logical paradoxes. It's still true that what happened did happen, but it means that what happened in one universe happened in that universe. It doesn't apply to the new universe.
If the many worlds exist, which they do according to quantum mechanics, then what you would do is you go back to kill your grandfather. You kill a man who is identical to your grandfather, but he is only your grandfather in a parallel world. In that parallel world, your grandfather, being killed by you from another universe, is never going to give rise to your father, hence to you. But that's no problem, because you have never existed at all in this universe. What you have done in your time machine is cross the universes.